What's this? A letter for me.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I'm going to share with you 3 recent returns that I got back in the mail and talk about each of the players and their profiles about their baseball playing careers. So the first return is from the San Francisco area and is a return from former Giants pitcher / Expos pitcher Bill Laskey on 4 of 4. And as you can see, Bill signed these in ballpoint pen, so that is not Sharpie, so they are kind of hard to see. But luckily, he signed them all in places that are not dark on the card. So let me tell you about Bill Laskey and his career in baseball. Laskey, an Ohio native, attended Woodward High School in Ohio, where he graduated in 1975 and excelled at baseball. He would go play collegiately at Monroe Community College and then later Kent State University. In 1977, he played in the Cape Cod League. Laskey was drafted twice by the Detroit Tigers in the 1977 draft, however chose not to sign and stay and play at Kent State. And then he was selected in 1978 by the Kansas City Royals out of Kent State University. Laskey signed with the Royals, and at 20 years old, he was assigned to their rookie ball affiliate. However, he finished the year in Double-A for the Royals minor league affiliate, appearing in 11 games between the 2 stops. The following year, he'd be moved up to Single-A, but would finish the year out in Double-A again, appearing in 28 games, posting an 11-7 record and a 2.89 ERA between those 2 stops. In 1980, he would be moved up to Triple-A, appeared in 27 games that year, posting a 5-8 record. And in 1981, he would remain in Triple-A for the Royals, posting a 10-8 record in 23 games. Well, after the conclusion of the 1981 season, the Royals chose to trade Laskey to the San Francisco Giants for Jerry Martin. Well, Laskey would appear in just 2 games in Triple-A in 1982 for the Giants until they called him up from the minor leagues on April 23, 1982. Almost a week later, on April 28th, Laskey would make his first major league start, where he would pitch against the Expos, eventually getting a 7-0 win. And also, something to be noted, that this just wasn't the first win that Laskey got in his career, but he also got his first major league hit in RBI off a single off of Bill Gullick's in that game as well. That year as a rookie, Laskey won 13 games, leading the team with wins that year. The following year, in 1983, he would also win 13 games, being a starter for the Giants, which would prove to be his career high for both those seasons. He would match his career high the following year in 25 appearances. In 1984, in 35 games, 34 started, his record would dip down to 9 wins and 14 losses. In 1985, he would again struggle with the Giants. And in 19 games, he had a 5-11 record going into August. And on August 1st, he was traded to the Montreal Expos for veteran Dan Dreesen. He would finish out the year with the Expos, posting a combined record of just 5 wins and 16 losses between his 2 stops in San Francisco and Montreal. However, after the 85 season concluded, the Expos decided to trade him back to the San Francisco Giants. So his heart was in San Francisco, right? So Laskey returned in 1986 to go back to the Giants again. This time he was strictly a relief pitcher for the Giants in the major leagues. However, in 1986 he did spend 14 games in their AAA affiliate, primarily as a starter. After the 86 season completed, the Giants released him from his contract and he signed as a free agent with the Detroit Tigers. Laskey would spend the entire 1986 season in the AAA affiliate of the Tigers, appearing in 56 games and posting a 12-6 record and not getting a call up to the majors. After the 87 season, he would leave the Tigers and sign with the Indians, and he would split time between their AAA affiliate, but also would appear in 17 games for the Indians in 1988. After the 88 season completed, the Kansas City Royals signed him to a contract. He appeared in 14 games for the Royals AAA affiliate, posting a 4-4 record and not getting a call up to the major leagues. He would then sign with the Atlanta Braves and the Texas Rangers the following 2 seasons, playing in their AAA affiliate before he decided to retire at the age of 33 as a player in 1991. After his retirement as a player, he became a head coach for a girls' varsity softball team at a high school. He would also coach at a couple other high schools throughout the California area where he retired. He also began a broadcasting career for NBC Sports Bay Area and also was a radio host and personality on KMBR, hosting Extra Innings with Bill Laskey. He also became the president of a sports talent agency called Celebrity Connection, and he also helps out with the Giants fantasy camp and helps run that for the San Francisco Giants. So very happy to add Bill Laskey to the collection. Hadn't gotten him before, so we'll move on to the next return. All right, so this next one is postmarked from Dallas, Texas, and it is a return from former Texas Ranger infielder Dave Hostetler on 4 of 4. And I had never gotten Dave Hostetler before, but I do have something that I want to talk about with this card right here. I remember specifically, because I guess I have a photographic memory or whatever you want to call it, I actually had this card when I was a 5 or 6 year old kid in 1984. I remember pulling that card out of a pack because I didn't have a lot of 1984 tops as a kid because I was really young. I got more into the heyday in 1986, 87, 88. But I remember I had a few of these, and Dave Hostetler was one of those cards. This is not the exact copy of that card, but I remember that card. So let me tell you about Dave Hostetler and his career in baseball. Hostetler, a California native, played his high school ball in California, but then went on to become a big star at the illustrious University of Southern California, or USC. He was one of the key players on the 1978 College World Series championship team that featured future major leaguers Dave Engel, Dave Van Gorder, and Tim Tolman. He would actually hit a home run in the championship game against Arizona State University. During his time at USC, and actually out of high school, Hostetler was drafted multiple times. The nearby San Francisco Giants actually tried to draft him 3 times, and the Cleveland Indians tried to draft him as well. Dave held out and he stayed at USC, and finally in the 1978 draft, the Montreal Expos drafted him in the 4th round. After signing his professional contract, he appeared and made his debut with the West Palm Beach Expos, hitting a respectable .269, playing first base. The following year, in 1979, Hostetler spent his first full season in professional baseball for the Memphis Chicks, batting a respectable .270 and hitting 20 home runs and 114 RBIs. The following year, he was promoted to the Denver Bears in 1980 and played on one of the truly greatest minor league teams assembled at that time. That year, they won 2/3 of their games, and it featured Major Leaguer and future Hall of Famer Tim Raines, Randy Bass, future Major Leaguer, and Tim Wallach, who was a longtime Montreal Expo as well. Hostetler was the regular first baseman, and he batted .269 and hit 9 home runs that year in Denver. In 1981, Hostetler would repeat his year in Denver, and this time he would really get his act together, and he would have an immaculate season, batting .318, hitting 27 home runs and 103 RBIs. Dave got called up to the Expos that year in 1981, and in very limited duty, he actually only had 6 at-bats, but he went 3 for 6, so he went exactly 500 in that. But one things was he hit a home run off of Pete Falcone, the team's only run in a 2-1 loss, which the Expos lost to the Mets that day. During the offseason, Hostetler was traded along with Larry Parrish from the Expos to the Texas Rangers for Al Oliver. Well, immediately the Texas Rangers made a spot for Hostetler in the lineup, and in his rookie year he batted .232 and hit 22 home runs and 67 RBIs for them. In 1983, at 27 years old, he would be cut down to just 94 games after struggling a little bit with his batting average and high strikeout totals, and he would split time with up-and-coming first baseman in the Rangers system, Pete O'Brien. The following year, in 1984, his time would dwindle even more, and he would just post 3 home runs in just 37 games for the Rangers that year. As a matter of fact, they wound up demoting him in 1984 for 64 games down in AAA. Well, he excelled in AAA, batting .304 and hitting 11 home runs, but by the time the 1985 season rolled around, Pete O'Brien had pretty much established himself as the everyday first baseman for the Rangers, and they decided to trade him back, ironically, to the Montreal Expos. Well, his homecoming was short-lived with the Expos because the Expos didn't bring him up to the major leagues in '85. As a matter of fact, he spent a very short time with the Montreal Expos affiliate, and he was actually sold to the Chicago Cubs on May 12, 1985. Well, despite the Cubs purchasing his contract, he did not get called up to the majors in 1985, and the Cubs released him from his contract after that 1985 season. So after the '85 season concluded, Dave, down on his luck, decided to take his skills overseas and sign with the Nankai Hawks of the Nippon Professional Japanese Baseball League. His first year with the Hawks, he actually posted a .285 batting average with 25 home runs. And the following year, in 1987, he posted a .251 batting average and 17 home runs. After his 2 years in Japan, he came back to the United States and signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates. At this point in his career, in 1988, Dave was 32 years old, and by the end of August of 1988, Dave was released from his contract by the Pittsburgh Pirates after appearing in just a handful of games for them. After that, Dave, I'm not really sure what he did post-playing career, but Dave retired back to the Dallas-Fort Worth, Arlington area, and that's where he resides to this day, and I'm very happy to add his autograph to my collection. Okay, this final one is actually a return from former St. Louis Cardinal Gene Roof on 1, 2, 3, and a 4th. And I actually happen to have this 1982 minor league set with Gene Roof in it, and I've gotten a couple people to sign out of it before. The most notable person in this set is Willie McGee, but also the other 2 gentlemen on this card, Glenn Brummer and Luis De Leon, are in the set as well. Glenn Brummer is an excellent TTMer. I hope to probably get these signed by him soon. I have seen Glenn Brummer a couple times in person, actually, as well. He actually lives in the same area where I grew up originally, so I've run into Glenn a few times throughout my life. Hopefully I run into him one more time to finish these 2 cards off. If not, I'll stick them in the mail and maybe do an episode on him sometime. So let me tell you about Gene Roof and his career in baseball. If this name is looking familiar to you, I previously did do an episode on his brother Phil Roof a little while back. I will post that up here in the corner and also down here in the description and also at the end of the video for those watching on the computer. You can definitely check out the profile I did on his brother. But Gene, or Eugene is his full name, came from a family of brothers that all played baseball. And actually his cousin Eddie Haas actually was a baseball player as well, and I've done a video on him. And his brother Phil probably was the most successful out of the Roof brothers. However, his brothers Adrian, Paul, and David all played in the minor leagues in one way or another as well. So Gene was originally drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals in the 12th round out of a high school in Paducah, Kentucky. After Gene signed his major league contract, he appeared in 58 games for the Cardinals at the age of 18 in their rookie ball affiliate. Gene would work his way up through the minor leagues, eventually in 1981 hitting AAA with the Cardinals. And after posting an immaculate batting average of .348 and hitting 11 home runs, the St. Louis Cardinals called him up to the major leagues on September 3rd, where he made his major league debut. He didn't get a chance to bat in that major league debut, as he played the outfield a little bit. However, he would stick with the Cardinals through that 1981 season through 23 games, and will get 18 hits and 60 at-bats. The following year, in 1982, which is that card right there, he would appear in 119 games in their AAA affiliate. He would post a .306 batting average. However, he would only just get a call up to the major leagues for 11 games that year, posting a respectable .267 batting average, coming off the bench as a pinch hit left fielder type that actually was a switch hitter. So Gene, unfortunately, wasn't part of the Cardinals' long-term plans. However, he did win that World Series ring in 1982. And he would start the 1983 season with the Cardinals. However, just appearing in 6 games, he would then be traded to the Montreal Expos for the remainder of that 83 season. He would split time that next year between the Montreal Expos, but after the Expos were done with him, he did return to the St. Louis Cardinals in their AAA affiliate. In total, he would appear in 134 games in that 1984 season between the Cardinals and the Expos AAA affiliate. The following year, he would be in the St. Louis Cardinals organization. However, he would wind up ending the year with the Atlanta Braves, again not getting a call to the major leagues. He would post a solid batting average in the AAA affiliates of the Braves and the Cardinals, but did not get a call up. After that, he would sign with the Detroit Tigers, and again, he would spend time in 59 games in their AAA affiliate, posting a .277 batting average. However, again, no call to the major leagues. 1987 rolled around, and he would just appear in 5 games with the Tigers' AAA affiliate before hanging it up as a player. So almost immediately after his playing career, in 1988, Roof became a part of the Tigers organization as a coach. He served as a manager with the Fayetteville Generals in 1989. Also coached for their London affiliate, the London Tigers. Also the Toledo Mudheads from 97 to 99. And then the Jacksonville Suns. Between those minor league stops, he also served as the first base coach under Sparky Anderson from 92 to 95. And with the many different positions that he held in the Tigers organization, he actually was a base running and outfielder coordinator for the Tigers system from 2001 all the way through the 2020 season. So Roof was somebody that was a baseball guy for life. Again, I talk about these guys all the time on this channel. He started out as a player, did his time in the minor leagues, got his taste of the major leagues, then went on to be somebody that was an important part of developing players for the next 30 years basically, or 40 years almost. And one of the things that I do want to point out about Gene Roof is he also had 3 sons that all played professional baseball. The first was Eric, there was also Sean, and there was also Jonathan. And the irony of this is I've actually met Sean, I've actually met Jonathan in my many minor league travels and actually got them to sign minor league cards. However, I've never gotten Eric Roof's autograph. So if there's anybody that happens to be watching this video and you have an Eric Roof signed card, I would be more than happy to trade you one of my Jonathan Roof cards so I can make the family complete. And so ironically, I actually have the card from the 2023 Amarillo Sod Poodles, and this is his son Sean that signed that for me. So this set I actually bought because there is a big time prospect in this set, and you guys are going to know who this is, Jordan Lawler, and I got him to sign that as well. So added bonus, showing you the Jordan Lawler there. But this is about Gene Roof and Scott Roof. So very happy to add another Roof to the collection. I'm also very happy to add Bill Laskey, as I had never gotten him to sign for me before. Move that off the camera there. And also very happy to add Dave Hostetler, the big-time college player, also pretty decent major leaguer, also Japanese professional baseball player. So let me know what you think of these players in the comments. I look forward to your comments below. And as always, happy collecting.